Hey there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Hey Little Magpie. For this layout I'll be using 49 Market Spectrum Gardenia, and I'm going to use shades of blue and green to coordinate with the photo that I've chosen. So I've gone through all the ephemera that I have for this range, and I've used some of it already, and I've got it to the side of me in a tray there. Quite a few bits are laser cut. They are just exquisite for this range, and I've taken my time off camera to take them out of the backing, so to speak, so they're all in this tray. I've also got some touches of black and white in there as well, because I think that's a really good pop against the colours and goes with the like distressed feel to the background of this layout. I've also got these rub-ons, and I'm just having a quick look through, see which ones I can use, and I think I go with the black and white word printy ones later on in the layout. So I'm just looking at putting some layers behind the photograph. We're not even looking at the camera. This was just a candid snap of my daughter and myself taken at my son's wedding. I think my mum even took this photo because I'm holding my phone, so it definitely wasn't taken on my phone. And I've not scrapped it yet, and I thought it might be really worth me going with the colours of this range, so that's what I'm going to use. Also, I thought actually the flowers in the photograph go really well with all these laser cuts. Thought I could actually start to think about layering them up and actually using them a little. I don't know about yourself, but I feel that sometimes I actually hoard stash. I think that's a completely separate hobby, isn't it, really? Hoarding and collecting stash. But actually these laser cuts are so beautiful. I want to showcase them a little, so I'm going to use quite a few. I think it's time to get them out and get them on a layout. The big flowers I've got there at the top left, they were actually on one of the title pieces in one of the packs that I bought. If you turn them over on the other side, it has some bits for you to cut out, and those flowers I've cut by hand. And you can see there on the left in the tray there is like a colour wheel and some tickets, and they're for you to cut yourself. So I've done a few of those as well. I feel that little cluster on the top left kind of balances out all that I'm adding to this circle at the bottom. Still very much sticking with the blues and greens, just using a variety of shades just to add some interest. Now, don't be shy about cutting into the laser cuts or any of the other die cuts, to be honest. The big one by the photograph, there was a flower overhanging, so I actually trimmed it off. I will actually use it again later on and add it back in, but not in the same position. And there's a couple of other bits that I've just trimmed off just to make it fit for your layout. So 49 Market do 12 by 12 papers beautifully. This one, all the mixed media, you don't need to get your hands dirty. You could add to it if you wanted, but there's so much detail already that it's actually a really good starting point, particularly if you feel that your mojo's not doing its thing at the time. It gives you a really good base to make a start. And also it reminded me that for the August challenge at Hey Little Magpie, it's to use circles. So Giselle has set this really good challenge to use circles, and this paper would be a really great start for that as well. So I do recommend you check out the challenge this month, because the winner picked at random gets 10,000 Hey Little Magpie points to use in the shop. So it's really worth taking part. Just ensure you put your layout in the right album on the Facebook group to be in with a chance. So you've got to be in it to win it, haven't you? So well worth having a go at that. So you may see that I've added a few small little like embroidered flowers. They're from the Bits and Pieces pack at Hey Little Magpie. They're not from 49 Market. They're Hey Little Magpie embellishments, and they're really nice. And there's particularly three colours that go really well with this collection that I've used on this one. There are more colours in the pack, really good value as well. And I'm going to stick them down with just a glue dot, but they add a little bit of texture, because obviously everything else generally is made of paper or card. So I'm just tweaking a few of the embellishments, particularly to the left of the photo. I always find there's a little bit that never quite goes to plan, so I'm just trimming things off and seeing how I can get it to fit. There's plenty of titles on this layout. I don't think there's going to be anything really bold. I've got a couple of words there above the photograph, and I've got the best of times below it. and I've got also words at the top. It says "You mean so much to me," so one of those I'll end up using as the title rather than adding any further words. There are some bigger words in this range, but I don't feel that this layout at this stage needs it. I've got the black doily behind the photo and I'm looking at one of those black phrases. I don't think it makes the cut in the end, just feel it's just stands out a little bit too much. So I've just had a bit of a tidy away around me and I'm just bringing in a few extras to see if they work. A few little black and white pieces just to see if I need to add a little bit more, maybe underneath the photograph, and I brought some of the rub-ons back in again because I definitely feel like I want to use them on the background somewhere. So I stick it together off camera as it is so far, and now it's really down to just giving it a tweak, adding a few of the gems, add a little bit of shininess to the centre of some of those flowers, and I think I add it to the centre of some of the laser cut ribbons as well. So do check out this range at Hey Little Magpie. In fact, there's lots of new ranges. There's such a good choice at Hey Little Magpie, so do check it out. Also, if you like the videos, please give them a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel as well, so you can see lots more videos in the future. If you've got any comments, any questions about the stash that I'm using, or anything you'd like me to include in videos, or any questions you've got, add them to the comments too. That's absolutely fine. I'll always come back and answer those. Now, I don't know if you remember rub-ons in the past. They had a bit of an odd reputation because they didn't always work very well. But 49 and Market have done it and they've got it right. This is I've been using it on their most recent ranges for the last couple of years and they just work so well. They come with the tool in the pack, so you don't need to find a lolly stick as we used to use. And they work so well and they stay put and they don't stick to the background. And yes, I would really recommend you try them. Can you tell that I'm a fan? So I'm just going to add a few little bits and pieces because I noticed on the circular 12 by 12 all the distress was on the outside of the circle and there wasn't any on the inside. So I'm going to just cutting a few bits and pieces off the sheet. I'm going to add little bits of text and little dots into the centre just to stop it looking so white. But I don't want it to be anything particularly readable. And it's not really meant to even get your attention. It's just meant to break up. Now I've said the centre looks white. Can you see what I mean? So I'm just going to break that up a little. And if you've watched me before, you know that I like a bit of a faff. So this is definitely the bit of faffing that I'm doing on this layout. But generally, I like the way that it's the feel. I like the crescent that the laser cut flowers have created. They're all there. You can see all the different colours and the texture. And I've raised some of them up with a little bit of foam. So that actually adds a little bit of depth as well. I don't mind having a bit of depth in the albums. And it's a photo that I really wanted to scrap. So I'm really pleased that I've got that done as well, so I feel like it's come together. One little thing I will say is the doily that's behind the photo I actually cut in half when I came to stick it all together because I wanted a tiny touch of black below the photo. So if you stare at it long enough you'll realise that it's not actually still circular, but it's one of those things that in the long run you would never notice. But I just wanted that touch of black. I felt most of the doily, which I'd hand cut, was missing. So that's just by adding another bit in. So I'm just adding these flowers with a glue dot, adding a little bit of the rub-ons around it. And I could carry on like this all afternoon, just playing and adding bits and pieces. And there's a whole laser cut set of butterflies. They are really worth looking at. They're in the whole rainbow colour. So if you like rainbows, this is the way to do it. Is to get some of those, and I've picked out some of the greeny ones and I'm going to add them, just 3 I think around, because 3s always work better, or so they say. And did you see I cut a flower off to put that butterfly in, and then I'm actually going to add it back in the centre so it doesn't go to waste. I've just put it in a different position. So I've got the rub-ons again and I'm going to just see if there's a few more bits to add. Just feels like that I need some specks there, maybe above the photo and between the two clusters maybe. So I'm going to carry on faffing as I do and getting those into place. You won't necessarily notice them when I've finished. So I would, as I say before, recommend checking out this range. I really have enjoyed designing with it over the last month. So that's all the layout finish, and you can see some of the depth. And I hope to see you here again real soon. Thanks very much for watching. Do check this out. If you like it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you here again very soon. Bye for now.